Labadiena visiems susirinkusiems.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome at this news conference. This news conference will be given by the President of the Republic of Lithuania, Mr. Gitanas Nausėda, Lithuanian Prime Minister Ingrida Šimonytė, and the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. I would like to give the floor for the opening word to Mr. Gitanas Nausėda.
Thank you very much. Dear Ursula, I'm very happy that you have come to visit us, that you are here now. Indeed, we have a lot to remember about the difficult moments when we were deliberating on the multi-annual financial framework in the European Council and the recovery and resilience framework. In Lithuania, we have a folk song about several days and several nights, but thanks to this, we have achieved results, the fruits of which we can enjoy now. And all of this has happened also thanks to your efforts. So thank you very much for your great and huge efforts during the vaccination process, especially while improving the delivery and supply of vaccines. Today, we can no longer complain about the lack of vaccines, and we can focus on another aspect, namely on how to vaccinate as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. I also remember another great meeting whereby we were discussing and decided on the implementation of the synchronization project to which the Commission has allocated more than 1 billion euros. Also today, we have to discuss other issues that are not as pleasant. First of all, illegal migration from Belarus and how to prevent it, how to improve border control, and in this case, both institutional cooperation as well as diplomatic and political efforts, together with financial resources, are crucial in order to prevent these routes as quickly as possible. These routes were opened by the Belarusian regime on purpose in order for migrants to freely access the territory of the EU. I believe that your visit will serve as an excellent occasion to start with the implementation of the EU Recovery and Resilience Plan, one of the projects in this framework we've seen today. And this will contribute to the implementation of the idea of a green, innovative, and welfare state of Lithuania. And to sum up, I would like to remind everyone that I had the opportunity to hand in to Ms. Ursula von der Leyen the invitation to visit the European Capital of Culture, in this case, Kaunas events next year. I do hope that you will be able to visit us next year.
Thank you, Lithuanian President. Now I'd like to give the floor to Lithuanian Prime Minister Ingrida Šimonytė.
Europos komisijos pirmininkė, miela Ursula.
Dear President of the European Commission, Lithuanian President, today is a very important day for Lithuania. Today, we are marking a landmark in a very special process. The European Commission has approved the Lithuanian Recovery and Resilience Plan under the Next Generation EU. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who contributed to this, the ministries, the social and economic partners, experts, public figures. The timing was very tight. The government had to address the challenges of the pandemic at the same time, and also to plan its activities for the next 4 years, and at the same time present an application for this unprecedented agreement on the support package agreed in the European Council. I would like to thank the European Commission and the Commission President for leadership and very close collaboration with the government throughout the preparation of the plan. We could always feel your shoulder next to us when the government needed it. Lithuanian businesses have managed to withstand the challenges of the pandemic. Therefore, we focused in the plan not so much on the recovery of our economy, but on reforms that will strengthen Lithuania and will help it prepare for the challenges of the future. More than 2 billion euro has been allocated for the implementation of the plan. This money will reach Lithuania by the end of 2026. That is a very important source of funding, but not the only one. It comes next to national funds and other EU support funds. Therefore, we see this funding in a wider context, matching it to other sources of funding in the pursuit of the maximum benefits and maximum added value. We linked this plan with the implementation of the government program. This will give a political support that is needed for the implementation of all the reforms. The plan for the new generation Lithuania is a new future strategy that will transform our economy towards greater added value, digitization, greener, the Green Deal, better education and social services, and a more just and more resilient country in the future. The three main areas chosen by Lithuania include the Green Deal, digitalization, and innovations. And it is not by accident that we have met here at the Litgrid project. One of the preconditions of Lithuania's green development is the completion of the protection of our market from the insecure import of electricity from the Ostrovets nuclear power plant. The Green Deal has attracted 37% of funding from the plan. This will also contribute to the green purchases, the renovation of housing, etc. These areas will require more money, more funds. This will also contribute to sustainable mobility and renewable energy resources. Digital transformation will contribute to the implementation of the public sector reforms and the creation of the infrastructure needed for digital development. And innovation is the government's priority number one. We will create this only after improving our education and social security systems. Every euro invested is expected to have a return of almost a factor of 2. The investments and reforms will make a great contribution to the achievement of climate policy objectives. And in the long term, this will have a positive impact on the labor market and reduction of poverty. In the pursuit of these objectives, it is very important for the plan to be approved by the Council as soon as possible. We expect this to happen in July, so Lithuania has expectations for a smooth and speedy process as it has been to date. In its objectives, Lithuania in the plan identified the same priorities as the European Commission. Probably that is why the coordination of the plan was so smooth. I would like to focus on one aspect, though. Just like the European Union, Lithuania should be not only green, not only digital, not only secure and healthy, but most importantly, it has to be for everybody, irrespective of the age, sex, nationality, ethnicity, race, or sexual orientation, irrespective of what opinion one holds. We will use these investments to create an open, inclusive society that will not discriminate between people and where everybody will be able to feel to be part of this country. Thank you, Prime Minister. And I would like to give the floor for the opening speech to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen.
Ingrida, thank you both very much for the very warm welcome I have received here in Lithuania and being here at the electricity substation. I'm very glad to see, and I listened to the experts, what the future of electricity generation and storage will look like in Lithuania. It's fascinating. It's clean energy based on the increased use of renewables, I think 50% till 2025. It is secure energy, which is so important, with your progressive interconnection to the continental European network. And perhaps I may take the picture that just like the battery energy storage system will power the energy of tomorrow, Next Generation EU is powering a more sustainable, a more digital, a more resilient future for Lithuania. Because with Next Generation EU, we are reshaping our continent for decades. We are investing in the digitalization like never before. We are making the European Green Deal a reality. Next Generation EU is indeed the largest recovery plan the world has ever seen, with a budget in Europe of 800 billion euros in today's prices. It's the recovery we need now. Today, I am very happy to announce that the European Commission has given this morning its green light to Lithuania's Recovery and Resilience Plan. It follows indeed a very good cooperation with the Lithuanian authorities, and I am very grateful for that, and a thorough assessment by the Commission. And there is no doubt that this plan will enormously boost Lithuania's economy, that will become more innovative. We've seen that here. We've listened to the different projects. It will become more sustainable, and it will become more digital. Let's look at some details. Indeed, 38% of the national plan will support the European Green Deal. And that means a massive investment in clean energy, wind power, solar power, made and stored, as we've seen here in Lithuania. The plan also foresees a large-scale energy efficiency program. And that is very important because there's a lot of renovation of building and their heating systems, because we know 40% of the energy is being used for heating or cooling of buildings. So the more we are efficient there, the better it is for the environment. And there's a strong investment in clean and sustainable mobility, like charging stations, for example, or clean buses and other topics. But what I really appreciate is that besides this strong emphasis on the European Green Deal, the Lithuanian plan has the same level of ambition on our other landmark, and that is digitalization. It devotes 31% to the digitalization. And just to give you a few examples for that, there is a significant investment in the rollout of 5G and high-speed networks. There's the digitalization of the public services. That's good for the Lithuanian businesses. It's good for Lithuanian people if the administration and the public services are digitized. And there is a massive investment in development of artificial intelligence solutions here in Lithuania. And there's a third aspect I want to emphasize, and that is that your plan aims to strengthen the national health system. We've all learned our lessons during the COVID pandemic, and I'm very pleased to see that there will be an enormous upgrade to the existing medical facility in the country. There will be a lot of development of e-health that is within the digitalization plan. And I see that there's the plan to develop 5 centers of expertise for infectious diseases. And indeed, this is very wise, this investment, and farsighted, because we've learned, as I said, our lessons during the pandemic. And while for decades we thought that the infectious diseases will be declining while the chronic diseases will increase, we now see that a new form of infectious diseases like this COVID-19 is out there, and we have to be better prepared. And therefore, this investment is absolutely the right one at the right time. So in short, your plan clearly meets the demanding criteria we have jointly established. It is very well balanced in the mix of reforms, for example, the reforms and the investment in the educational system and investments. And it will really transform the growth model of Lithuania. It will help to build a better future for the people of Lithuania. And therefore, our approval is indeed an important milestone for the disbursement of the 2.2 billion euro over the next years. What is now necessary is the Council's approval within the next 4 weeks, but then we will be ready to disperse the first funds already this month. My last remark, this sounds like, okay, we've gotten to a certain goal, but this is not the end. It's just the other way around. The hard work starts now. It's about implementing, implementing. I just want to say that the European Commission will stand by your side on every step of the implementation phase. It is fascinating to see then the projects grow and the improvement. Of course, there will be problems, there will be successes. So I just wanted to say this will be a European success made in Lithuania. Thank you very much.
Dėkojame Europos komisijos pirmininkiai.
Thank you very much to the President of the European Commission. We have time for 2 questions. Please introduce yourself, the media you represent, and to whom you want to give the question to. I am Jūratė Matuliauskienė, a journalist of the portal LRT LT, and my question is to Ms. von der Leyen. If you don't mind, I will ask it in Lithuanian. Lithuania is the 14th country you are visiting in regard of the RRF. How does our plan and Lithuania look in the context of other member states?
It is an excellent plan, I must say. And as I said initially, there was a very close cooperation with the Lithuanian authorities. And what I really like is that you have this strong focus on our common objectives. First of all, in the strong focus on the European Green Deal. Here is outstanding that you have a broad investment, not only in renewables, but also in clean mobility, and the focus on the most important part, that is the renovation of buildings. I am very pleased about the strong focus on the digitization, and here exactly the places where it has to be. Me, as a trained medical doctor, I'm very glad to see also that the healthcare system will benefit massively from this investment. But what I also highly appreciate is the fact that you have been looking with that plan deep into the educational system. So the schooling system, but also the vocational training benefits from this plan. And the social safety net also benefits enormously from this plan. And that is so important that with all the important investment and topic, the most important are the people. And that all Lithuanians, all people in Lithuania benefit from this plan, that we leave nobody behind. And therefore, this plan shows a broad portfolio that is addressed, and it's an excellent plan.
Labai ačiū. Kitas klausimas.
Nora Karklytė.
Thank you. Next question, Nora Karklytė, news portal Delphi. Dear President, would you say that there is a risk that as new varieties spread, the privileges of the new COVID certificate could be at risk? And as we face the migrant crisis now, what support we could expect from the EU? And what about the issue of the responsibility of the European Commission?
Let me address first of all the COVID situation. So yes, indeed, we are concerned about the Delta variant. We see that the new Delta variant is much more transmissible than the other ones. And we see that infection rates are rising, and we know they will be rising. In that difficult story or part, there is, on the other hand, good news, because we see that the vaccination or the vaccines are effective against the Delta variant. In other words, people who are fully vaccinated with double shots are very well protected against the Delta variant. And people who have so far the first shot, there we observe that the symptoms of the disease, if they are infected, are less severe. And therefore, the most important part is, there are 2 things we have to do. The one is vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate. And I can only urge everybody who has not taken the opportunity to get vaccination to do so. It's protecting yourself and it's protecting your environment. The second point is that for a while, these very simple hygiene measures, so that we keep a distance, that we have in the rooms our masks, are effective. If we look at Manchester in the United Kingdom, where the first outbreak was, with a lot of these hygiene measures, they got it very well under control. So in short, we are worried about the Delta variant. It will increase infections, but the severity is reduced through vaccination and through hygiene measures, and therefore we have an important tool against it. And I think we really should move forward with the vaccinations to protect ourselves. The second question is the topic that you raised, Belarus and the migration. Here we see indeed a pattern, a politically motivated pattern. And the European Commission and the European Union stands by your side in these difficult times. I have discussed with the President and the Prime Minister that we will bring more support through Frontex. Frontex is already here, but we will increase the support through Frontex. That we are also willing to bring support through the Asylum Office, what the processing is concerned. And I know there is a request for financial support. We're looking into this. There is the general financial support for this European budget foreseen for Lithuania by 240 million euros, but this is an extraordinary situation. So we do have also emergency funds that might serve in this case. One thing is for sure, your worries and your problems here in Lithuania are European problems, are our problems and our worries. So I just wanted to reinforce that we really stand by your side in this difficult time.
Labai ačiū. Dėkoju Respublikos prezidentui.
Thank you very much, President, Prime Minister, and European Commission President. Thank you and have a good evening.